Travis, as he woke up, blinked slowly. He found himself looking up at a bright, sterile, illuminated ceiling of a bright, sterile, illuminated room. His chest hurt, and he felt like he was dying. He sat up and found himself surrounded by aliens. Little aliens, 3 or 4 feet, with grey skin, big slanted eyes, small, slit-like mouths and making no sound whatsoever, the full 9 yards. One of them approached him, but he punched him in the face, knocking him to the ground. Another 3 approached, but he heroically drived over, grabbed a cylinder or test tube-like object and began swooshing it around, wielding it like an ironic lightsaber, absolutely ferociously, with no fear, but ironically with lots of fear. At this point, the aliens, wisely, since they seemed to be unarmed, retreated and left Travis alone to his own devices, at which point he then began to explore his surroundings and look around closer. Interestingly, much as with Bob Lazar and those who claim to have been in UFO abductions or at the site of crashes, he looked around and remembered the walls with a smooth, seamless aesthetic to them and seeming to have no obvious seams, joints or fastens. And just like with the others, he claimed the entire craft seemed to have been moulded like wax, rather than assembled from parts. He then began exploring. Following various corridors, he eventually entered a circular room, containing a single, smooth, dentist-like looking chair mounted on a pedestal in the middle of the room. He then sat at the chair and noted some interesting things on the armrests, a lever on the left, and buttons on a small screen on the right, actually resembling today's touchscreen technology. Travis, curious, manipulated the lever, and something extraordinary happened. The ceiling of the room instantly seemed to become transparent, and he could see a spectacular view of stars. Moving the lever actually changed the star patterns around, as if he was moving through space, driving the craft himself. This seemed to attract some attention. I imagine the aliens saying to each other, "Squeeb, a human is driving us again. Let's call Andy. He's human. He'll know what to do." Because at this point, a man wearing a space helmet and a blue jumpsuit walked in. He was 6 feet tall, well-built, had normal human features, but his eyes, they were larger than normal human eyes, and gold. The man, maybe their human bestie, maybe trained in human deconfliction skills or cognitive abduction therapy, said nothing, in a way that was curiously reassuring, but gestured for Travis to follow him. Some might have seen this as suspicious, I know I would, but not Travis. They led him to another table, laid him down, and he actually complied. They placed something like an oxygen mask over his face, he lost consciousness again, then he woke up on the roadside near Heber, 30 miles from the spot he'd been abducted, feeling cold and disoriented.